All right, welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News this week. Hey, we're back live on Facebook, Jack.
Keep on. Keep talking.
Got one here. Everybody knew it. They didn't have to watch.
I mean, my phone was blowing up.
We didn't got through it though.
I ain't gonna tell you who he was blaming it on.
No, we don't.
I didn't blame it on Adam.
No, he didn't blame it on you. It was somebody else, some guest that was on.
We had a bunch last week.
I'm thinking. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it out loud. I'm not gonna say it out loud.
All right, let's take Garamo GAC, Great American Company, signed back up. They're on for 2025 this year. Got to thanks those guys. Papa John's Pizza, always providing pizza every week. Slinger Speed Company, Tim Brown, thanks those guys coming on board and sticking with us. MPM Marketing, we got to get Tanya back on here. Tanya's going to help us some on some of our sponsorship stuff for Miles. Got to thank Tanya for coming back. She not really, I guess she did leave, but we've never really like had an official. We're not separating, but Tanya does a lot of social media and marketing and classes and teaches young people what the best way to do things and makes proposals. So hit Tanya up. She's a great asset to any young racer that wants to come along. And I think she's with Lee Falk Racing, right?
Yes.
She still with Lee? Yeah. Bonner's Brothers Distillery. Langley Speedway. You had Bill on here last week. I got to thank Langley for giving us a home to do our show. Everybody thinks we're part of Langley Speedway. We're not, but we are. But we're not. So we are.
Gray area.
Yeah. So yeah.
It depends on who you're talking to. Now, if you talk to Bill, we're part of this.
Talk to Chuck.
That's another story. But speaking of Langley Speed, did anybody see the crazy ass Shane Laws in the goddamn pool in the snow?
Oh yeah, I saw
I
that.
was like, no. I mean,
Couldn't pay me to do that, man. Holy
He was
moly.
laying out there and said, just laying in the pool.
I would love to see another one of his ass fell in. See how that fell. The look on his face did, right? Gotta thank Pepsi for providing drinks. Mosquito Joe's gotta thank Robert Rumbles, yeah.
Not Rumble.
I'm gonna see if I recognize him at the banquet this time.
I hope you do. Because if you don't, there's something wrong.
Gotta thank Robert for coming on, and he truly loves the show, and we do enjoy having him part of it. Get your half off on your first month of service with Mosquito Joe's on this side of the water. It doesn't work in Virginia Beach, Norfolk. That's a different territory. All the way up through close to Richmond, I think that Robert has, and get half off on your first month of service. Southampton Motor Speedway, they still around, Jack?
They're still out there.
The track's still there?
Track is there.
I understand they've got a thing coming up soon. They call it Drifting and S'mores.
Drifting and S'mores, huh?
Don't ask me what the deal is.
Okay.
I haven't
They
been in.
like the s'mores with tire smoke?
Maybe. Gator Graphics, gotta thank Sammy. Sammy's done some stuff for me, and I appreciate him. He's like Johnny on the spot. You want some stuff like that, t-shirts or whatever. I know we got quite a few t-shirt people, but Sammy is local, Tim Brown's local, and can't thank both of them enough for supporting us. Mean Dean Automotive with Greer and Associates. Let's see. RDS Performance had a hell of a season last year. We'll see if they can keep the streak going. I don't know if they're going up late models this year.
Yeah, supposed to be. Excuse me. You need to go back to Mean Dean's.
Good.
Booyah!
Missed it.
Did you get it last week?
Yeah.
It's on a roll, man.
No. Let's see. Get 25% off on your Papa John's online orders. Dotson 25. Fast Eddie's Barbecue. We called in and put an order in earlier. He was at Sam's Club picking up some barbecue. So think he might have some barbecue for us next week. So
Oh,
might,
man.
might won't be early next week.
All right.
Maybe. We don't know. He said we'll see.
Well, anyway.
Jack's on it. Ooh, look at that.
He's like, I just happened to be in Sam's Club getting some. He's like, well, we're putting an order in. S&N Communications, thank those guys for coming on board middle of the year last year and continued on with 2025. Another one, which is kind of part of factory canopies, which is airlock. It's a pretty cool magnetic design that they got to go on the helmets to pull your air hose stuff off. I think a lot of guys could benefit from it. Factory canopies, man, they made our tablecloths, they make tents, they make car covers for cars. Hit Todd Davis up, tell him we sent you. Last but not least, Miles of Seamless Gutter. I think them, man, we've never really put them on here much, but they've been a big component of our driver sponsorship that we came up with the last couple of years. It's been pretty good. Last year, I don't think we did a lot of justice on our own parts, but we understand we have a winner, and that'll be announced at the banquet.
Yep.
Have we shared that up yet, Jack?
I was told it was.
Okay. And then stay tuned for an announcement at the banquet for 2026. We'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Get your tickets. Almost gone.
And also, while you're on the Miles of Seamless Gutter, I want to wish Vivian a happy birthday.
That's right. Today's her birthday.
Yeah, that's right. See, I remember you didn't say nothing. Your aunt, you didn't say nothing.
He had a week off, man. He's still recovering.
A couple of weeks, man.
A couple weeks off. That's right.
He been gone for 3.
I'm a little
getting back
rusty.
into the swing of
Yeah,
things.
it's taking me a minute.
I mean, Jesus Christ, it's his aunt. He can't. Ain't no way he can forget that. So anyway, if you want to talk about some news, ain't none.
Well, Mike Wallace is not making the Daytona 500.
He's
No,
not
that's
gonna
it.
make it. He's not gonna make it to the Daytona 500, and
Somebody else will.
It was
a little worried
Sad.
about that. The fact that he.
well, and that puts MDM in a tough spot, right? They had things going forward, sponsorship, and now they don't have a driver or sponsor.
Yeah, it's
And
Carl Long is not the operation. He
correct.
didn't have
I mean, they go week to week. I mean, it's a
so
small
he's
operation
liable not
with a
to.
lot of heart.
Oh, he may show up at Daytona, and it may be one of those start and part deals for him this time because. But hey, it may not be.
Hey, Jack, look, we're live on Facebook.
It's a miracle. He's ready to go.
No,
What's up, Justin
you'll
Call?
be ready to go here in a minute. No, but it's they're talking now that they're gonna have upward to almost 50 cars at Daytona for
That's
the
a lot of
500,
cards. Yeah.
500 this year. A lot
That's
of
gonna be cool.
to actually see some people going home.
Yeah, we ain't seen that in a long time, right?
Yeah, so it's gonna be.
I mean, it definitely, in the last year or two, there's been an uptick in the NASCAR. Look, we've seen it here, right? I mean, I think the fan interaction and the Cup Series and it's trickling down, and even here we're seeing an influx of fans, and it's just great. I don't know if we'll ever go back to the '90s, but
It was like somebody was talking on the radio the other day. They said a car goes down to Daytona. Let's say he's lucky enough to make the race. He's not one of those chartered cars or whatever you want to say, and he makes the race. When he makes the race, the money he wins can get him through 4 or 5 more races. And it's a big help to him.
Just making the race.
Yeah, that's a big help to him. And going down there and not making the race is not good. And you got Jimmy Johnson, who is not guaranteed a spot in this race.
Truex.
Yep, Truex Jr. is not. So there's going to be some interesting things.
what's up, Butterbean? Seemed like you had a decent test. And goofed the car up a little bit.
Yeah.
And how cool was it making some videos with?
That was cool, man.
We got Tourette's over there or what?
Yeah, Butterbean, your number one fan's here. He's waving.
Oh, that's what it was. It wasn't the Tourette's. Got you. Okay. Jesse's like, why exactly is he not allowed to race?
Well,
it sounds from my watching the Kenny Wallace video that because Mike hasn't raced anything in 5 years, I believe that's what the deal is. I mean, they haven't exactly said this is why. They said he wasn't allowed. And I don't know that insurance maybe didn't play a role in that. I don't know how. I mean, insurance dictates so much. What's up, Aaron? Eddie Clark, did you get us a barbecue butt there, buddy?
Guess we'll find out next week.
Yeah. What's up, Robert? What's up, Skinnell? Skinnell had a good year last year, and see if they can keep that up the next year or this year. So pretty interesting. And won't be long. We'll have the shootout.
And how about Leo Castroneves and Butterbean being teammates?
Could you?
That ain't too totally off.
I know, right?
That blew my mind.
And then to see, hey Brandy, then to see Elio trying to teach Butterbean his language, you know. And it was almost as hard for Butterbean to teach him the language.
Yeah. I mean, but it looks like they'll have at least they'll have a good teammate. I mean, he's a obviously well-respected driver, and I think he'll do well. So it'll be I don't know how many other teammates he'll have because I'm not even sure how many teams they
had 3 cars down at
but do they normally run? They don't run 3 full time.
They only run 1.
That's what. Yeah.
But I think because of everything.
Well, I understand that they. What's the breakdown of the new NASCAR rules in 2025? I haven't looked at them, so I'm not real sure.
I gazed at them. I know that there's going to be.
They got rid of the vehicle policy.
Yeah, well,
I think that's a big positive, right?
They're saying now you can go to the garage and come back within the time frames that they have set down, and they increased the time frames,
which I think was the right thing to do.
So most of them are increased to the same area, the same time frame as 7 minutes. I think they said one track is 8 minutes. I can't remember which one it was. They gave them 8 minutes on that track because of the length of the track and everything.
Well, and that can be a big component, right? I mean, that can chew up a lot of time just trying to limp around the bottom of a racetrack and get back, not go a lot down, depending upon what the extent of the damage is.
Yeah.
But I certainly think that's a positive, especially the whole flat tire thing, not being able to drive back.
And we've also gotten rid of the waivers. Unless it is a sickness or something like that,
family related.
Family related. There will be no waivers. And if you get suspended, you're going to lose your points, playoff points. You're going to lose the playoff points.
So you can still make it, but you'll have no bonus points.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So I think they
just let Adam do this part of the show.
That's all I actually forgot about that
one. I like the whole waiver thing because I think, look, man, sometimes I think we all have to protect ourselves from ourselves, or we need to be because we will try to find a loophole in every rule possible. That's what we do. So you won't have and I think what brung that to light is the whole, the Daytona. I mean the running the double at Indy and coming back to Charlotte.
Well, now
that's too. Yeah.
Larson has put it out. Rick Hendricks then put his mandate out. You will not do. You can do the double, but if it gets to that point, there's going to be a cutoff, and we come first.
Get your butt on a plane.
I thought it was the other way around.
No. It's this way this year. Hendrick has the call. If he gets to that certain point, he's flying back. He's coming back to Charlotte to run the Cup race.
He's going to do it, Crystal. He's just going to be on a time constraint this year.
Yeah. So if it rains, oh well.
See you later.
We could see a problem there. Also, Jesse Call said something about the YouTube star Cletus McFarland running the ARCA test and being 14th fastest.
That was cool.
That was cool to see him do that. That's really cool.
It would
I
be
mean-
cool to have an event of his here. I know they do a little bit of traveling.
Yeah, Young Money. What was the other name they come up with him?
I forget now.
It was like Young. Yeah.
The gold boy.
No, they called him Young Money, but then
They call him something else. Yeah.
on the Dale Jr. download, and that's another one. I think they're the new position with the door bumper clear
Mhm.
with Kelly. Was it Kelly?
Mhm.
Yeah. And then damn, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank.
I can't dive. I
I
can
can
see.
see. Where we had his son on here a couple times.
Oh, oh my God.
Why am I drawing a damn blank?
Tommy Baldwin.
Tommy Baldwin, yeah. I always see him at the racetrack. See, he helps out Rick Ware Racing. I always see him in the food tent coming over to eat. Yeah, Tommy looks pretty good. Going through the stuff
Good to see him. Yeah.
for sure.
When they raced here last, they pulled
All
his
right.
car out.
We got Eddie Pollard standing by. I hope we.
Hung Money. That's what it was. I couldn't remember. I knew it was something to do with Hung Money. I forgot about that. Yeah, Hung Money.
All right, let's get Eddie Pollard on here, and he's going to talk a little bit about Dixieland Speedway.
What's up, Eddie? How you doing, man?
Hey, bud, how you doing? Good to see you guys.
That's good, and we appreciate you spending some time with us tonight. I did not. I must have missed it. I did not know you were that far away down there where you are now. But
He
I'm
said you were
sorry.
going to drive on up here real quick, about 10 minutes away.
Wonder where you're at.
So I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm about 7 hours from you guys, but yeah, I'm way down here at the bottom of North Carolina, almost on the South Carolina line. So yeah, I'm a little ways away from you guys.
Now here comes the big question: how'd you get tied up with Dixieland Speedway?
Well, I worked with the Steel Block Bandits. I was the PR director and announcer for the Steel Block Bandits. I always enjoyed Dixieland. It was just something about Dixieland that I always enjoyed. That one, we always went there the first Friday in June, and I always enjoyed it. The crowd was great. The fans were so enthusiastic. They were better than any fans that we went to. I mean, we went to Tennessee, we went to Alabama, we went everywhere, and the Dixieland fans were just top shelf compared to anybody else. And lo and behold, they had some changes come about last year, and HC gave me a call and asked me if I'd be interested because at the time I was in retirement, and asked me if I'd be interested in coming back. And I said, well, yeah, sure. So I got to do the last 3 races at Dixieland last year and really enjoyed it. Really made some good friends, and looking forward to 25.
Now you're also the race director and the PR man for Dixieland. So tell us. I mean, that's a kind of 2 different areas.
Are you a good multitasker?
Well, I am good at promoting the drivers, but I'm also really good at getting cussed out on Friday night. So, but yeah, I enjoy it. If I had to pick one, my favorite would be promoting the drivers, promoting the racetrack, promoting the events. Race directing is something I came about probably 40 years ago. This will be my 41st year in racing, and I used to be a flagman for Carolina Clash. I'll tell you how old I am. I even flagged some Have a Tampa races. So
that's been a while.
yeah, that's been a minute or two. I had Scott Bloomquist and Ed Gibbons on the front row at Lakeview for the last Have a Tampa race that it was ever ran at Lakeview Motor Speedway. So that was pretty special. But I enjoy race directing. It's a challenge. PR directing is a challenge as well. So I'm pretty busy Sunday through Friday.
Well, you got a busy schedule doing what you're doing. There ain't no doubt about it. Now, let's talk about Dixieland Speedway. We had the folks last week that kind of gave us an overview, but now you're the race director. What kind of things are we going to be looking at going to be different this year at Dixieland from the past?
Well, the biggest thing is it's going to be a complete flip. There was a lot of things that went on at Dixieland. It was kind of like a good old boys kind of racetrack. The partnership that I've come into contact with, the Hankinson and Ventures Incorporated, they made a lot of wholesale changes, guys. And I mean, when I'm talking about wholesale changes, I mean big time changes. We're up against for instance, we're up against the time clock now, or curfew, so to speak. So we're going to make sure that we hit that curfew when 11 o'clock comes. We're done. It doesn't matter if the late model still got to run, the four cylinder still got to run, super streets, whatever. We're not going to. 11 o'clock, we're shutting down. So our job this year as a crew is to make sure we get everything going on the appropriate time, like 6:30, barring like no weather problems or whatever, making sure we get started on time. That's the biggest thing at Dixieland, getting started on time. And that's something the fans are going to have to get used to as well, because a lot of times the fans wouldn't come till 7:30. And by 7:30 this year, we're going to be racing. So I hope everybody's aware of that. And John, Sean, all the people at Hankinson have really made a big effort to do that. So I think it's going to work out really well.
Now, I asked this question last week, but being that you're the race director, in your practice sessions before the races, are you going to do a time practice session, or are you going to do how many laps you get 4 laps and that's it, you're done? Are you going to do it that way, or how are you going to do it?
I think there's going to be something implemented. We're having a meeting this weekend, matter of fact, in Elizabeth City. All the officials are getting together. I think what we're going to do is, if there's an opportunity to practice and qualify each class, I think we'll do it, except for the late models. The late models will get their 2 laps. Last year, the 4 cylinders, the super streets, pure stocks, they got like 4 laps of practice, but that was also their qualifying. So that's probably what we'll implement again this year, except for the late models, and they'll get their 2 laps of qualifying.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that's a good idea. And because I went to a track, Halifax, a couple of years ago. Tom Elliott was the race director down there, and he gave them 4 laps and told them they better be ready for qualifying as soon as them 4 laps was over with. They got the lap in, and if they weren't on that hill when the time to start the race, they're gonna start the race without them. So I mean, those things have to. That's the way you have to keep the show going, I guess.
Yeah, then that's, once again, it goes back to that curfew. I mean, if you don't get off on the right foot at a certain time of the night, you set yourself up for disaster, because you never know. You might have wreck after wreck after wreck. And so you've got to set yourself up to be in tune at 6:30, ready to go racing. And that's something this year also that we're doing. As soon as the drivers' meeting is over, our track will be ready to race on. So we're not going to have a slow rolling, if you will. Everybody gets out there and waves to the crowd. We're not going to do that this year. We're going straight from drivers' meeting to practice or qualifying. So I'm praying and hoping that by 8 o'clock on Friday night, we're getting ready to go racing.
And that's the situation, is make sure you get that track rolled in good and everything. So that's going to be something that somebody's going to have to do prior to all that. So that's a good idea. I like that idea.
Yeah, Steve Gutz is our track manager as far as getting the track prep going, and he's had a ton of experience at Dixieland. We are putting new dirt down or new clay down, and it's still actually sitting on top of the racetrack right now. So we're trying to hope it starts to combine a little bit. So they are going to lay it down, and there's going to be a couple of times, drivers come to the racetrack to practice. Our crew this year is going to have a practice night for themselves, where they practice just like it was going to be a regular race night, and they're going to practice getting the track prepped, watered, and ready to go, and see the time that it takes. So I think that's going to be a really important deal too. They're going to do that a couple times before the season even begins.
So with the different classes that you have there at Dixieland, has any of that changed, or is it going to be the same classes and everything from last year?
Pretty much the same classes. We're not going to have any big super late model races. We're hoping to have a couple big late model races. We've got the Bell and Bell vintage cars coming in. We also have the Virginia Sprints, who that up in that corner of North Carolina seems to love the sprint cars, and the sprint cars do a great they put on a great show at Dixieland. So we will have those guys in town. And also this year, all of our divisions will be running for championship points beginning on opening night, April 4th, and it will run all the way to September 26th. So that's something new at Dixieland this year. They're going to be running for a championship. So, you know, a lot of guys, we're going to be racing every other week. So it gives them a chance to regroup and then come back strong the next week.
That's what you got to do.
I just keep thinking about I'm not much on the dirt stuff, but late models. You imagine if you come in here at Langley and said you're only going to get 4 laps of practice. These guys, we can't get enough practice. I mean, if you give us 5 hours, we're going to need 6. You know.
Yeah, you asphalt guys love to practice. I mean, y'all love.
I mean, we'll 10 sets of tires if we can get it. You know.
Yeah, I went to Dylan. I went to Dylan a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, "Is practice ever going to end? I mean, are we going to race, or are we going to practice all day long?" So
us asphalt guys, we will practice as long as you'll let us, and then some.
Exactly, but you know, we have to be really concerning with our practice, because what we're trying to do, we're trying to get the track rolled in. Which, like I said, this year we got a bunch of packed cars, and the track's going to hopefully be rolled in by the time we're ready to go racing. But, you know, we're trying to save the racetrack. So maybe 9, 10, 11 o'clock, you know, you still got some grip there. It's not just a sandpaper. So that's our goal this year, is to make the track racy and just to put on a great show for the fans.
Now being a race director, how do you make everybody happy?
Oh my goodness. I have been trying to figure that out for 41 years. I found out last year that I have a lot of friends at Dixieland, even after 3 races, believe it or not. They told me, they let me know what they thought of my mama and my daddy. And that was kind of unique. But you know, you gotta have thick skin. You do your job. You just, you know, I'm not there to make friends. I'm there to do a job. Tell the guys in the driver's meeting, I'll sit on the back of your trailer and have a Pepsi Cola, but I'll put you on the trailer for the night. So if you do something you're not supposed to do.
That's a good thing.
I like it. Eddie said he won practice a bunch of times but never got a trophy.
But yeah, the guys at Dixieland, I'm going to tell you, you know, I didn't know the culture at Dixieland was so. I mean, they love their racing up there.
Yeah.
Not just the drivers, the fans love it. And I mean, it's almost like, I don't know if you guys, I know you guys are familiar with Bowman Gray Stadium. It's almost like the Bowman Gray Stadium of dirt. Those people just love their drivers. They love their, you know, they live for Friday nights. So we're really excited about this year.
Yeah, it's a fun place to
race.
Very
passionate.
It's a fun place to race. I raced there a couple times, and it's a fun place to race. I like it. So I think we got a good thing going down there with the dirt, because I like the dirt. I'm in here with these asphalt guys. They don't know.
Look, riding around in the back, Jack, that's not racing. That's just part of it.
No, it was on dirt. I wasn't riding in the back. They moved me to the asphalt, and then I started riding in the back.
But yeah, I mean, I appreciate the asphalt guys. I've really enjoyed the asphalt this past year with the Cars Tour, watching those guys. I mean, that was some phenomenal racing, and hats off to those guys, because they're putting on one heck of a series each and every week, everywhere they go.
Yeah, I agree.
That's for sure.
Well, Ed, we appreciate you spending some time with us tonight. Hopefully, I'll get down there and check out Dixieland Speedway.
Yeah, hopefully they don't have you strung up somehow.
Well, we'll hope not. But if you would, give us a like on Facebook at DixieLand.com. Also, we got our website coming up, so check us out. Open night's April 4th. Really looking forward to it. And thank you guys so much for remembering us and doing everything you do for Dixieland. We really appreciate it on behalf of Hankinson Ventures. Thank you so much, guys.
No, thank you.
Hey, that's what we're here for, and we appreciate, you know, being able to be a part of it. I'm going to come down and see you. But every time I go to Dixieland, it rains, so I'm gonna not let you know when I'm coming.
Well, okay, please do. Maybe put a cover on it or something there. We're praying for good weather this year. Praying for good
All
weather.
right, let's do that. All right, Eddie, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man. And we'll get you back again before the season starts and we'll talk some more.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys.
Thank
See
you.
you, buddy.
They have not had a good couple years with me.
No, they haven't. I mean, I forget almost a third of the season or more was.
And Ben, I went down there, I know twice and it rained. But I went down there last year and got right to that crossroads before you get to Dixieland.
Right at the intersection?
Yeah.
No way.
I got right there
Yeah.
and pulled up to the stoplight. And lo and behold,
Done.
I get a text message, race been canceled. And I'm sitting there, man. I'm about dead with that. I'm
I
tired.
was gonna say, tell him Brian's not available on Saturday nights. He's under contract.
Oh, yeah,
It didn't rain when I went.
I know. All right, you gonna do one of the things?
Yeah, I will this time. What's
Hello, I'm Rick Pouse, driver of the number 9 Super Truck at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway, and you're watching Jack Dodson Racing Insider News with Scott Allen and Adam Wllbrock. Enjoy.
I think Keeley on there.
Hey there.
There's Keeley. How you doing, Keeley?
Hello, I'm great. How are y'all?
Well, we're great. But you done surprised me already this year. Okay.
That's not hard to do, Jack.
Well, when I read the news that you were going with a new series, tell me all about how that got started.
Yeah, well, I'm typically always full of surprises.
Yeah.
It couldn't shock you that much. I don't have a ton to share because obviously this is still a project that we've been working on for a couple months now. But we're going to, so I've been working with the Higgins, in previous years in the short track industry. So I've known them for a while, and just each time that I've worked with them, I've noticed more and more like their attention to detail, especially in the developmental portion of the industry, which is interesting. And so we just kind of started, building a relationship there. Tri-County is an incredible facility. So naturally, I would want to be there as much as possible.
Yeah.
So we decided the three of us form an 8-race schedule for pro late models in the South Atlantic region. So, one thing that I've always tried to focus on, especially just kind of what I've been wanting to do with my career in the industry, is focus on the developmental part of it. And I think that there's a lot of room for improvement with that, with the pro late models, and especially that developmental ladder with leading into late models and supers and up the ranks through the higher levels of NASCAR. So I just, kind of saw an area where it needed a little bit of help and massaging. And so the three of us are tagging in.
I mean, it's really interesting. I mean, you've had such a good career with the Cars Tour, but I know your expertise coming over here is going to be great. I mean, that's going to make it even better. So I think it's a wonderful thing that you're going to do that. I know you don't have any things where you can tell us where you're going to be or whatever. Probably hadn't worked all that out. But why the super pros or why the pros, whatever? Why is that such a thing that you wanted to do something different with that?
So the pro late models, I feel like in the region, there's been multiple series that have been trying to grow that style of racing for a while now. And so especially when we saw the fall off from the supers a couple years ago, especially with Cars Tour, how, they transitioned into the pros because there wasn't much supers in the area, and supers kind of just went off all over the place. But then we kind of started introducing the pros, and I say we as in multiple different organizations in the industry. And there's not a lot of those cars being built in this area or maintained, and just not a lot of kind of hustle going around this area with the pros, but there's so much opportunity too. And there's a lot of people in the area that want to tag in and help. And, just that style of racing is a little bit more expensive, but there is a way to make it so that they can compete at the local level and still be paying the prices of the local division. So that's pretty much why we were able to stick with the pro late models.
Is your basic plan of what's going on with this new series, is it a situation where you're looking at East Coast, or is it from like Tri-County South? I mean, because a lot of the cars are way down in the South, a lot of the pros and super pros.
Yes and no. We just want to stay in this region. I mean, I can't necessarily speak personally for the future of it myself, of course, but the goal of this is to maintain cost and keep it affordable. And if we're going to, try to be building these cars in the area and, creating, I guess, just creating a space for them here in North Carolina, specifically in the Mooresville region, that's kind of our goal. So we don't want to expand too far into other markets because the goal is to help to kind of fix and progress the market that we have here now.
Now, I know it had to be a big change for you to go from where you were to where you are now. How hard was that to make that decision to do that?
It was very hard. It was very difficult. But I think that a lot of times, especially in this industry, like you have to keep moving and you can get stagnant in what you're doing. And so you have to keep yourself growing. You have to keep your mind moving. And I'm the type of person that I like to learn from a lot of different people. I want to keep pushing myself and kind of expand into different markets. And I was lucky enough to learn from the best that there is with Jack McNally. And so I think I'm just, I'm ready to take a chance on myself. And that's the one thing that I focused on a lot this past year is, if I can't take a chance on myself, who's going to, right? So just trying to use the knowledge that I have here and do something crazy in the industry like I always try to do.
Well, Keeley, what's interesting is the fact that you have such an interest in this sport. What got you started to have such an interest in racing?
I went to my first race when I was in high school. Maybe I think it was sophomore year at Charlotte, and just kind of loved it. And then met Jack, started working with him. And I don't know, I just, for some reason, I was always so attached to the Pro Cup stories and especially with the Hooters era and things. So I just really attached myself into that series for a long time. And I don't know, I like that old style of racing. I didn't grow up in a family that watched racing every weekend. We just weren't that family. We weren't too familiar with it. My mom did a little bit, but I don't know. I fell so hard for the short track racing scene. So
you are such a hard worker. I mean, I've watched you at the racetrack. You are a hard worker, get a lot of things done. You're never sitting still hardly, but I've seen that. But I mean, it's got to be great for the series that you're going to have somebody like you who will hit the ground running and make it a success.
Well, thank you. Another thing is I want to teach people too. And I want to teach that next generation who want to work hard and kind of put their hands in multiple different spots in the industry. That way, whenever they want to grow up through different levels or, expand their careers, they have all the tools that they need. So I'm really looking forward to getting a few people in-house too, that I can kind of, I guess, pass the Jack McNally torch and try to train some people up through the ranks as well.
I was gonna say, what's the biggest thing you learned from Jack, right? I mean, Jack has done a great job with what he did, and you were with him a long time. So I kind of say you had the Jack McNally University school, right? What's some of the things that you learned from him?
Make sure your skin is thick, and if it's pretty thick, make it tougher. Put down your phone and write something down on a piece of pen and paper. And don't take any shit from people.
Well, it sounds like that's good advice. But I mean, I think you do have a wealth of knowledge working along with Jack, because you were involved in every aspect of it, and I think that's just a wealth of knowledge that you were able to acquire, right? And you worked for it, and I think Jack was a big fan of yours, and I think that's the reason why you were there so long. So I mean, my hats are off to you, and I think it'll be exciting. And it's got to be exciting for you to do this too.
Yes, for sure. And obviously it's a little bit scary, but there's already been a huge interest showed, and I've received a ton of support by people that I've worked with in the past, and even new people reaching out. So I'm super thankful. I'm excited to get this all started. And I promise when I have more details, I will come back and share them with y'all.
Now, how did Jack take the news? He said, "No, you're not going anywhere," or was he very supportive?
Well, so Jack had retired this past year, so he's been spending time with his family, and he's at home now. He's kind of
Good for him.
out of the racing scene. So he was just he called me and he said, "I love you, kiddo. Good luck. Always here for you." So
yeah.
Well, that's good that you got him in your back pocket. He can help you out in a lot of things. I mean, you get to them questions, you can always rely on him to help you out. So I think that's great for you.
Just don't make a mistake and call this Jack, because he's not going to have good information.
Well, here's the thing: is I have too much pride to call Jack McNally now. He's like, "You're on your own, kid. Go ahead." So now I just have to see what I can do and hope to impress him.
Well, you could have said you could have called me.
Exactly.
He was putting me down, but you just went right over that.
My apologies. I would love to call you.
Well, Keeley, I tell you what, I'm happy for you. I hope we
Yeah.
get to see this series up and running this year and get some races in, and hope it's somewhere close by where I can come by and see the race. I would love to do it. So
Yeah, use us and abuse us. That's what we're for.
and
We will certainly be at Tri-County a few times as well. So you can definitely circle that one, of course, but we might be in an area that's a little bit close to you. So
okay, well, keep in touch with us. Don't be a stranger. You ever need anything to put out or whatever, we're here to help you too. And I'm going to kind of miss you when the car tour comes around. I'm going to miss you.
I will certainly miss y'all as well. But I wish them the best of luck, and I'm super, super excited to see what they do with the tour moving forward.
Okay, well, we appreciate it. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Absolutely. Thank y'all. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye, dear. Mason said, "Only advice Jack is good for is parking." What? Why is that?
Mason's done. It must be drinking.
I love Mason.
Yeah, I do.
Must be something wrong with him. I mean,
No, he's got a good comment.
Yeah.
he's not that damn good. Okay, don't go there. Don't,
I did ask his wife with her, like, "How's it raising two kids?" She's like, "No, we only had one." I said, "No, you got two."
You had one. Now you
She's
have
like, "You're right. You're right."
anyway, you gonna do another one, or you?
Yeah. Let's see. What do we get?
Hey, I'm Kevin Cantor, 8-time Kingsport Speedway track champion, 2-time Motor Mile Speedway track champion, and 2-time LPR Speedway track champion. And you are watching Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News with Scott Allen and Adam Wllbrock.
And now we have Aaron Goodman.
Well, hello, friends.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Well, I'm here. I'm just, it's cold. But anyway,
Old people are always cold.
Well, I mean, he's hanging out with you, so it's got to be pretty frigid near you.
good. Thank you. I got one person talking to me.
I got your back, Jack. It's fine.
It's terrible when all your friends you can count on one finger.
Well, if I can count that one, that's all that matters. Anyway, all right, got a lot going on with you. You got the Star Super Stock Series and everything. But first of all, let's talk New Year's Bash.
Oh, what a ride!
No, that was an experience for you guys down there, wasn't it?
It was. It started pretty rocky. All of our help that was going with us got sick, and they were down bad. So when we left for the bash, it was just me and Bill, and we ended up with a pretty incredible crew that showed up and showed out for us, and we had a great few days. Won a heat race, and then got wrecked and destroyed, and spent several hours in the hospital.
Yeah, I saw that. Haven't been in the hospital, and he looked like he'd been beat up pretty good with that wreck and everything. So, how bad was the car?
Shockingly, it's not destroyed. She will see the racetrack again. We are very fortunate to have a great army of people behind us and the support system. So, Bittersweet will be back on track this year.
Well, that's good, and I'm glad he didn't get hurt very bad in the wreck. Maybe a little sore, a little whatever. But
So, well, what I didn't see it. What happened?
Um, mm,
It's a sore subject.
he will. I'm trying to think of the nicest way to say this.
I mean, obviously there was a wreck, so.
Yeah, he had some help, and there was some payback for something that wasn't due payback. It was a dirty move.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
I didn't realize. Damn.
But he took a hard hit to the passenger side, and I mean, it sounded like a bomb went off when he hit. It was scary. He immediately came over the radio, let us know that he was hurt. And it was a rough night. He's back on the mend. It was hard to keep him down for a few days and keep him to just chill. But especially we've got our first race at the Icebreaker coming up. So we've got a million things going on. Definitely was not a good time to go down.
No,
How bad is the car?
She needs some work, but thankfully we came out of it. We don't think it needs a clip so we think everything held up pretty good. It's gonna need quite a bit, but she'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only unfortunate part of, look, we all get mad and look, we all disagree with every accident. I mean, there's two sides to every story, and then there's the truth in the middle, right?
Yeah.
But none of us ever want somebody to get hurt. And then unfortunately, sometimes it happens, but it's not something. I mean, I think we've all, or anybody that's been in a racing, we've all done something intentional, unintentional, and luckily, in my view, nobody's got hurt. But nobody wants to see that happen. Even if you are mad at the person and you want to destroy the car, you don't want to hurt them intentionally anyway. I would hate to have that on my mind.
I think Jack has something he wants to
I'm not going to even say a word. I'm not gonna say a word. I'm going to let that go. Anyway.
Just a rear end, okay.
So, Bill Flynn says thank you for all your help at the bash, and Scott Phelps and Kevin Shreve. They said they're very proud of all the game from down that way, helping you guys out and getting going.
Yeah, we Bill and Ron do a great job putting on that event, and I mean it's the biggest street stock race of the year, and there were over 50 cars on property, and it was a stout field of competition. And Bill and Ron let me take over social media and let me have design creativity over the whole bash, and so that was a blast to kind of make a mayhem comeback and do that for the weekend. And I can't just say enough great things about those guys.
Y'all had 50 cars. That's a lot. I mean, that's a good deal.
There was even a team there from Canada. Like people came from all over.
Wow.
Boo says doesn't need a clip, just a rear end and all the front suspension parts.
There you go.
He's got a lot of work to do. So now tell us a little bit about the Star Super Stock Series for the coming year. What all you got going on with that?
Oh, see, we roll into the Florence Motor Speedway for the Icebreaker on February 8th to kick off the season. Love that whole ordeal. It's just the best way to start our season. And about 15 minutes ago, I got a text message from Bill that we will be visiting somewhere legendary again this year that we've never been before. So we just locked that in, and that's a pretty big deal, and it's exciting, and I cannot wait to blow some people by storm with what we have up our sleeves.
Well, there's nobody listening. Go ahead and tell me.
Nobody
I wish I could. I wish I could.
How many races are y'all going to run this year?
8. We'll
races.
stick to an 8-race schedule.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, that's not bad.
So yeah.
Anything other than that, the schedule and everything got going on this year?
So we will be releasing the full schedule within a week, maybe 2 weeks. By February 1st, the schedule will be out. We are returning to some of our favorite places. And we have something brand new that we're doing within the series to shake it up a little bit. So we're working on a lot of things behind the scenes, and I know people are anxious to see what we're up to. We have a lot to live up to from last year. We definitely have the crew and the support to live up to it and surpass it. So I'm excited to get to work on February 8th.
I mean, it seems to be a great series, and I mean, I've kind of watched. I watched the bash the other night on TV, on my TV. But anyway, that's a pretty good series. I mean, I think it's great.
It truly is great racing. It has made me fall in love with racing again. You are truly back to grassroots racing. Um, you, it's just fun. Kevin came with us and did social media for us for the Kickin' Asphalt vlog at the New Year's Bash, and he came over from the Cars Tour side, and he had a freaking blast. We had another guy, Ryan Honeycutt, came and spotted for us Friday and Saturday, and another late model spotter, and he had a blast. And you had Ronnie Bassett in street stock racing. So I mean, you see a lot of these guys from bigger levels like come down and experience street stock racing, and it changes the game for you. It makes you fall in love with it all over again.
Well, I missed that too. I would love to be able to get back into it. Y'all can call me and ask me to come down and be a part of it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you don't bring Scott with you, you can bring Adam with you. You can come to any race you want to. You just let me know.
That's pretty simple. That's pretty simple because Scott don't go a whole lot with me. But I might have to bring my grandson with me because he loves that racing too.
That's absolutely fine.
Well, I hope everything goes well. I see Boo's on here. He said this place is going to be epic and makes me wish I could race it. So it must be a pretty big deal. But I mean, if you don't want to, if you want to tell us, we're not going to tell anybody.
Yeah, if there's one thing I know, you two don't know how to keep a secret.
Jillian said,
but it is.
Journalists want to know, what's the scoop?
I wish.
Scott will get you a car. There you go. Scott's car.
They're trying to get Scott a car. Can you believe that? That's ridiculous.
I mean, it's fun, and our guys, it's stout competition. You roll into a Star Super Stock Tour race, and you don't know who's going to win. They are going to battle it out. They're going to lean on each other. They're going to put it all out on the line for those 50 laps, and they're going to put on a show.
Hey, Aaron, I know who's not going to win. If he has a car, I know who ain't going to win.
Here's the cool thing. So Boo actually has me race directing in the series now. So I don't know that I would advise Scott to come race in our series.
I got to go see that happen. I tell you now.
Been a Mike Wallace of the Stars Tour.
Over racer, I'm not allowed to compete.
Yeah, you're too old. You can't compete.
They won't be as PR cut. They'll be a little more cut and dry about it.
Right.
Well, Aaron, thank you for coming on, being a part of it. And please keep us in touch with the stuff going on Stars Tour. And I'll try to get to by and see a couple of them races this year.
Sounds good. Would love to have you.
Hey, look, somebody says on here, and I ain't going to call his name. I ain't going to call his name, but Boo Carlisle's initials. Says she ain't scared to throw a black flag.
I have.
Oh, well. Scott wouldn't have a chance then.
I've dropped a couple of black flags. I've put a couple drivers on probation. South Boston got a little rowdy for us last year.
So now, did they come up there and raise hell with you?
No.
Oh, well, then that's the race.
They were pretty cool, calm, and collected by the time they came to talk to me.
Oh, okay.
Jody said keeping Chris straight. There must be a story there.
So you know who Jody Freeman is?
What was it?
Says you're keeping Chris straight. Jody Freeman says.
I don't know. Oh, Chris Rondeo, maybe.
Oh,
One of our drivers.
That's what I would suspect.
Yes.
that's what, yeah.
That's Chris on probation.
And they say he's on probation.
He was. Him and one other driver, Cody DeMarbles, they were like a magnet to each other, and they were putting it all out there, and there were some altercations that occurred that resulted in both of them getting put on probation.
Wow. Well, you run a pretty tight ship, evidently. So you know.
Look, we'll see, and that's the thing. It wasn't just a one incident thing. It was, when I say they were a magnet, they were a magnet for 50 laps. So
Sometimes it's like in those scenarios, you can't get away from the
All
guy.
right, but before I let you go, I'm gonna ask you a race director question.
okay.
You have a driver out on that track that makes a comment that says, "You're not going to win this championship no matter what you do."
I said it to myself, Jack.
Whatever. I heard it. And he goes out on the track and goes back, goes backwards on the track.
I deliver.
And deliberately crashes him. What's the thing? What's your call on that, deliberately crashing him like that?
We're going to have a conversation.
Please let me be involved. If it ever happened with Scott, let me be involved.
Absolutely. Front row
Hey, look.
seat.
Boo Carlisle said you'd even black flag him if you had to, and I'd be on the couch.
Yeah. I'm fair about it. That's the one thing.
Who's in charge?
And ironically enough, I put Cody on probation, and I'm really good friends with his wife. So,
Ooh.
She took a step back. She knew I had to do what was in the best integrity of our series and our sport. And I have a job to do, and I have to be fair. So he got equal punishment as well for his part in it.
Can you imagine that?
I guess you won't be shopping with her for a couple weeks.
You got the race.
Oh, no, she still made me Jell-O shots for the bash. She worked on our car. It's fine.
Okay, all right.
You imagine him, you got the race director mad at you and your wife.
Guys, there's a reason why Boo will not race in the Star Tour.
Yeah, I could.
Oh, man. We got to talk him into that. He's got to do it one time.
I could fit in Boo's seat.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
There is a Netflix show.
Right, yeah, you go.
And we appreciate it. Thank you so much for being with us. And we're glad to see you again. And hopefully we'll see more of you. And hopefully I can come to the racetrack and see you at one of these races.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. It was good to catch up with you.
Thank you. We appreciate everything, and we'll talk to you again soon, okay?
All right. Bye.
Bye. Man, Greer's out here putting you out there, Jack.
I saw what Greer put out. Put that shit off, man.
What's that? Ricky, I'm gonna ban you next. He said, Jack's, he doesn't know which pedals are what. I thought me and Ricky was buddies.
That's probably the reason why you're not going to be able to drive one of them cars. You don't know the pedals. And Boo's already got enough problems with his car now.
You don't need me stirring something up. I mean, I put a show on.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, that I will give you. You will put a show on. Right?
They'll be talking about it.
Anyway.
I think it'd be fun.
Oh, it'd be fun for me to watch. Yeah.
You think how much publicity we get? All right, let's see. Let's pick somebody else here.
Hello, I'm Phoenix Kimball. I'm the 88 legend car driver at Lake County Speedway, and you're watching Jack Dodson Racing Inside News with Scott Allen and Adam Wllbrock.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Uh-oh.
You got your mic on? We don't hear you. Can't hear you.
Technical difficulties.
Nah. Can you hear us? We can't hear you.
We can't hear you at all.
He'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
Are you gonna tell us who we're gonna speak to, Jack?
Yeah, we're going to talk to this guy is RYLAND LINDSEY. And he's running the Southern Dirt Series. He's going to be at Langley. I mean, at
We still don't have you That's odd. Nah, we don't. We can't hear anything from you.
Got to be on your end there, buddy, because we can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if it's gonna be odd, it'll have
To Jack.
Oh, this is you, buddy.
Technical difficulty. Scott is here.
This is you.
Our technical is good.
Ryland's been racing Dixieland for a while.
Yeah,
In the 4 cylinders.
and he's been doing he's done a lot of go-kart, right? He was down at Williamston this past weekend doing
Oh, but that's a big race. It's cold. It's always cold as hell there. It's like almost snows. It seems like every time. But that's the wind. And no, wait a minute. What's the one that they do? The bob, whatever. It's in the horse racing
That's
thing.
it.
That's okay. That's what I thought. Let's try again. What you got? We got you. There you go.
Now. So how's everything going, Rob?
Pretty good. Just busy right now, cleaning go-karts.
Cleaning go-kart. You went down to Williamston. How was the racing down there?
Oh, it was pretty good. There was a lot of wrecks and wild moments down there.
So now you had Cody Carlton helping you out too, right?
Yep, I ran one of Cody's go-karts. He did pretty good on Friday, and then he won champ race on Saturday.
Oh, okay. So you did pretty good even with his help.
Yep.
Well, Ryland, tell us a little bit about how you got started in racing and to be down at Dixieland and running on the dirt.
Well, so about 5 years ago, I ran go-karts for 2 years, and then I was talking to Dad, and I was like, I want to get into a car. So then we got this cheap Honda Prelude, front-wheel drive. We took it all apart. Trevor Batoya and Colton Stevens actually built that car. And then I ran that car for 1 year. I said, Dad, that's not fast enough. So then we got a Honda Civic with a K-Series in it. So we ran that for 2 years. It got ran into the wall. And then, thank God, I knew who Cody was. And he basically unbent the front end kind of and built a new one. And then I ran that this past year. And it just hasn't seemed right. So we're currently building a new car right now.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So how far along are you on the new car and getting it ready?
It should be done this month in a couple weeks.
That's cool.
Yes,
So
sir.
the season will be here before you know it.
So
Oh, yeah.
you just gonna run Dixieland, or you gonna run any other places, or?
I'm gonna run County Line a lot and a few of the SCDRA series. There's one in Pennsylvania and Delaware. I'm definitely gonna go to.
Oh wow, okay, that's cool. I mean, get a chance to do that. Now, who all helps you with your car? I mean, you got a bunch of people helping you.
So right now it's just me, Dad, and then Cody helps me out when like something goes bad or setup and everything like that. But I have a ton of sponsors that help me out a lot too.
All right, well, get to that. Give a shout out to you five. Give a shout out to you
So
five.
I got McDonald's, Adam Anderson with OBX Monster Truck Rides, Partash Performance, Carlton Motorsports, Schaefer's Oil, Victory Auto and Transmission, and 3D Custom Lures.
Wow, you good? That's pretty good. That's a pretty good deal there. You got a good chance to do well this year, right?
Yes, sir. Hopefully. That's the plan.
So, what's the division you run in at Dixieland?
The SCDRA front wheel drive.
Okay, so that's a whole separate division from like the U cars they got, not U cars. What they got?
Yeah, U-cars. It's basically the same thing. Just one's on asphalt, one's on dirt.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, when was your first race? Well, tell us a little bit about your first race and how you did in that.
So the first race, it was back in the Honda Prelude, and I actually got the hang of it pretty quick. We ran mid-pack the whole season because it wasn't that fast, but I did pretty good for first time on a front-wheel drive car on dirt.
So,
and then once we got the faster car, I won quite a few races, and then we got ran into the wall, and then ever since then we only won about a couple.
How'd you get running the wall? There sounds like it might be a story there.
Well, so it was a money race. I think it was $1,000 to win at Dixieland. We was coming around. There was 2 laps to go, and then coming out of turn 4, this guy ran me right into the wall. He turned right into me and ran me right into the wall. He said he didn't see me, but that's hard to believe. So I really don't know on that one.
You were leading?
No, it was actually Trevor Batoya was in first, and me and this other guy was battling for second.
Okay.
So what carts have you been running? Have you been running the carts while you're running dirt?
No, not really. So last year was my first year in a go-kart since like 4-5 years ago. And Cody gave me an opportunity to run at Williamston last year. So I did that and did all right for my like first time in a long time. And then I haven't been in a go-kart since then until this past weekend and did all right till some dude behind me ran up on top of me.
It seems like there's a common denominator here. Well, that happens in dirt. That's a big fast place.
Oh yeah, it's kind of fast, but it's sketchy too. You come out right onto the wall, and one mistake you're done for.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been down there, but I mean it's always cold as hell every year, every time that race comes up.
Oh yeah, so Friday night it was like icy, snowy. It was just a total mess. Got the trailer all dirty, hands all cold, everything was cold. But Saturday wasn't that bad.
Man, see that kart dirt racing is a lot of tire work.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah, it was a mind game all weekend. So like on Friday he had the tires pretty good. Saturday didn't find the tires till like the main race. That's what got us.
Well, I know you're looking forward to getting started down at Dixieland this year, get the season going. So, what are your expectations for the year?
Well, with this brand new car, I'm hoping to be real fast. I think it's 2,500 to win April 11th, which is my birthday. So I'm hoping to win that race for sure. And then with the Hankinsons taking it over, I plan on it being a good track. They said it's going to be already prepped when we get there. So hopefully it's a smooth, fast, ready to race track.
I think you got a good group of people coming in. It's going to make it good. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was thinking on that too. I mean, would you also have what's the other racetrack that closed down? I mean, that probably
BMS.
Yeah, BMS closing down or not running. They're only doing the monster trucks, I think, and that's probably going to be even better for Dixieland. I mean, hopefully there'll be a few more cars and stuff there.
Yeah, I heard there's quite a few cars going to try and come down from VMS and Halifax because I don't even think Halifax is having a season this year.
Yeah,
Halifax has got a new owner. I've been checking into that this past week. They've got a new owner, but they don't have anything in the works as far as getting the season started. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I got you. I think County Line's going to get a big turnout from those Halifax guys too, since it's so close.
Yeah, I'm sure of that because I mean they kind of worked together at one time anyway. So that's where a lot of those guys will go to. So I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm hoping they bring the legend car to Dixieland too.
Yeah, they told us that last week that they're working on getting the Legends cards down to Dixieland. So that would be good to see them on dirt down there, and I think it'd be good racing too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would be. They'd have a big turnout, dude.
All right, well, we appreciate you, Ryland, for being with us tonight, and good luck to you when the season starts. And I'll be coming down to Dixieland if it don't rain. I'll be coming down there because every time I go to Dixieland.
I was gonna say if it does rain, it's because he's there.
But I'm gonna come down. I'll come by and see you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll talk to you again soon. Okay.
Yes, sir.
See you, bud.
All right. That's our show for tonight. Pretty good little show there. Had some good things going on. Next week, John D. Acquisto is going to be with us.
Who knows that?
I was hoping you'd ask that.
He runs the Apex simulator place in Durham. They have simulators in Durham where you can go in and you can just walk in.
Oh, that place. Yeah. That does look pretty. It's kind of like is it a restaurant?
It's got a restaurant in it. It's got
a restaurant / sort of iRacing place in a way.
And
it's pretty interesting. And so because we're having them on when we go down there,
we'll talk with them.
We get free racing.
We're
racing.
That I'll race you on. That I will race you on.
That's still going to the wall.
But
Hopefully, it doesn't have the motion seats. Oh man, well, that's cool.
yeah, I know you. But he'll be with us. He'll be with us next week. I've talked to him and got the inside scoop on the Apex Center, and maybe the three of us can take a ride down to the Apex Center one Saturday and hang out there for a few minutes.
It's on.
Do a show from there.
There you go.
Yeah, we can do a show from there. That'd be cool too.
We'll announce the winning of the race.
We could stream the race. That would be cool. Oh, man.
Oh, maybe you won't be going with us.
Jack don't want evidence of how bad it is.
Yeah,
It's not recorded.
Anyway, he's gonna be. I mean, I had a good conversation with him, and we're gonna have him on, and can't wait for that. And we'll have another guest on, Regina Servant.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, Regina Servant. You know who that is?
No.
Okay. All right. Well,
Just sounds familiar.
she did the ARCA test with Willie Mullins
Oh, okay.
at Daytona, so she's gonna.
That was our first time there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's
She was fairly quick, wasn't she?
Well, I think
yeah, she was in the top 20.
yeah, so I think it was 13th or 14th, something like that. Yeah.
So I talked with her, and she wants to come on the show next week. So we got both of them coming in. We'll have somebody else, but I haven't got that one straight yet. But it'll be a lot of fun to talk to, and maybe we can get
A lifetime pass.
I don't know if you'll get that or
What's
not.
going on?
You just got to tilt it till they say no.
Yeah.
If they say yeah,
Start
then
at
you're
top,
like,
come down.
right? Well, yeah, because if you start very low and he's like, yeah, and you're like, oh damn.
Gotta go.
But I mean, it doesn't really look like an interesting place.
Yeah,
I went
yeah,
through
yeah.
all the pictures and
Sounds like it.
everything, and I mean, you just walk in and get on one, or you can get in a league. They got a league that they do that in. They also have where they bring drivers in and do some instruction with them there. They have coaches.
Do you want us to help you before we start racing?
I ain't gonna even go there. with
Bring
you.
your helmet, Jack. You still got your old helmet?
No,
I know you got in the bubble
did.
goggles.
I did.
In some bubble goggles because you know you got a full face.
The open face helmet.
I did have an open face helmet,
But the bubble goggles.
no, he's
No?
got the one I had the bubble goggles and stuff with. That was when I first started racing. He got that, but
Well, Keegan has it now.
Lee has the other helmet, the
Oh.
full face and all that. He
Oh,
has-
so you're not gonna get that back.
never will. But anyway, so
What's up, Andrew?
that'll be a good show next week, and we'll get a chance to do that. And I can't wait.
No, Jack's not telling me anything, Brandon. I don't know what he's.
Brandy, I tell him what he needs to know. If he doesn't need to know it, I'm not going to tell. You know what he did with you when you gave him a piece of paper to announce some stuff here on the show.
I'm
And he
running.
didn't even
I mean,
get
I
that
don't know
right.
what the problem was.
And he didn't even get that right. So you know I'm not going to give him information. I mean, that ain't going to happen. So anyway, and evidently he's beginning to have a sidekick here.
Tune in next week. Who knows?
He's got panniers on.
I got nothing. My wallet's empty.
So anyway, thanks for watching the show tonight. Please like and share the show. And we had a blast tonight, and we'll see you again next Tuesday night.
All right, see you guys.